There was childhood trauma. I was a very sensitive kid. Too many emotions. I didn't know how to process them. I was the fat kid in my family, just covered up all those feelings with food. I was never taught to eat properly. I was never taught what was underneath all that overeating. I was given diet pills at age 12 all throughout high school. It stopped the eating for a while, but it never really solved the problem. I had to go to the doctor if I wanted to get the pills, but I was humiliated. I was shamed. I'd have to get weighed in front of everybody, step on the scale, they'd announce the weight. And if I didn't lose any that week, shamed even more. It was not a good experience. And so sometimes I didn't want to go, and I'd try every other kind of eating, fad diet there was, shake diet, fad diet, everything. But nothing really worked, and then I'd go back. It was a vicious, vicious cycle. Never really understanding the emotions, and then I'd get in my head about it, and I wouldn't feel good about myself. No self-confidence, no self-esteem. It was very, very difficult. It was a vicious cycle over and over and over. But the pivotal moment came when I learned about emotional freedom technique. It's an energy psychology technique that works on the amygdala of the brain that helps you to get out of that fight or flight and process all those emotions going on. It helped me get to the root of the problem and discovered there was a lot of childhood problems that created this. And when we go back into childhood, we can take the judgment out. We can learn to look at it with discernment and understand it so much better. Shame perpetuates the cycle. Judging ourselves perpetuates that as well. Even being able to admit I'm an emotional eater is very powerful. And it really started helping me to look at that root cause and get out of my own way. And now that I've discovered emotional freedom technique, it's helped me to work on other addictions like over shopping. Yes, I would go out, I would shop, I'd come home, never really wearing the clothes because I always would buy 2 sizes too big. When I was a kid, my mother would take us all shopping at once. There were 4 of us. We'd have to buy school clothes, Sunday clothes, play clothes. I always went first, not because I was the favorite child, but because we first had to make sure I could find clothes that fit me. Caused a little rivalry with my siblings. I want it. No, I want it, but it fits Terry. Didn't really feel so good. And so working with emotional freedom technique, I was able to start breaking those other addictions as well to help me really understand more and more about what's going on. Never feeling full enough, never feeling satisfied. It helped me to break that and get out of my own way. Yo-yo dieting is not fun. Try this, try that, right? It doesn't really work. But when we can uncover the root of why we're eating, why are we standing in front of the refrigerator eating? What are we doing? Food doesn't really help process emotions, but what I did learn is that tapping does, breathing does, water does. Yeah, it was difficult growing up. And those diet pills, they didn't really help. It was kind of like a, quick fix. Boy, is our society geared towards that, right? It didn't help me to really solve those problems and get to the root of it. But now with tapping, it can help me. When I'm standing in front of the refrigerator going, okay, what am I going to eat? I can also say, okay, what's up? Are you hungry? Food is not for processing emotions. Food is for nutrition. And not every emotional eater puts on weight. Some go the other way. They choose not to eat at all, and then they lack nutrition, which affects their health and wellness as well. So many ways emotional eating can affect us. I want to help you with that. I want to help you learn these tools and techniques, learn to process those emotions, learn to separate out food from nutrition, from emotions. We want to be able to get into the gap and understand what are those connections you're making with food that keep covering up how you really feel. Come join me for my boot camp, Shape Shifters Unite, where we'll begin to uncover how you can work with this technique and what are those connections you make to cover up all those emotions you carry.